I am honored to welcome Robert Crouch at TCS. Global, same challenges that we have. Like management at scale is a big one. How is TCS addressing that?
So for some of the gray hair people in the room like myself, we've been around the industry for a while. Networks were planned. Over time, we've gotten to a place where we've gone from physical networks to virtualization, and we've gone from virtualization to containers. At today's world, with the ubiquitous nature of connectivity and the demands by the business to get value out of their systems from a sustainability perspective, we've gone to a place where we have autonomous networks. And there's no way that humans can scale with autonomous networks. You need infrastructure and you need automation to do that. So what TCS is invested in is in smart infrastructure to where we can dynamically change the workloads on any given system at any given time, depending upon the needs, and those are literally changing minute by minute. On top of that, we moved into the generative AI to help manage that, because you need intelligence in order to know what workloads you're going to change at what given time. And then lastly, with the generative AI, whether there be answers for your line automations to look for quality control, or where they be human answers, you need to be able to tap into the back-end API systems to be able to do actual back office business with it.
Got it. So outline and response that you just gave seems to be very high up into the stack. So logically, the relationship here seems to be, let SUSE manage the infrastructure for the edge, deploying it, lifecycle manage day one, day two situations, security and compliance. Yes. And then TCS comes in on top and brings its value kind of with a specific go-to-market play based on the things you just said.
You got it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, excellent. Okay. One thing that we are super concerned about, because of your global nature of the TCS business and because SUSE is a global company, is compliance and security. So is there anything you can talk to us about how you intend to address that, and maybe even with partnership with SUSE?
Absolutely. So we have a platform focused on the edge that is called ECADS. Stands for Core Application Data and Security.
Okay.
So with that platform, our focus there is to make sure that, as we talked about the dynamic nature, we can dynamically change the core to meet the customer's needs at a given time. On top of that, the applications that are going to change virtually depending upon the users at the time. Data is the key piece of that. And then the security, because we're changing in real time, we have to make sure that we're compliant in any given industry.
Yep.
Underlying that, we look to partner with SUSE in the various areas of having Rancher Suite as the capabilities for managing that underlying infrastructure, as well as the edge tools that they've developed both on the AI and on the workload security to integrate where we come on top of it and manage data.
It's interesting you say that, because I'm a big champion of what we call compliance as code, where you can reach down and inherit some of the goodness that we've done in terms of compliance, and then extend that up to help you specifically with your solutions-based compliance as well. So it's almost like a tag team in terms of augmentation. You had an interesting conversation with one of our colleagues, Richard Cart, who's leading our telco space. And the conversation was based around private 5G. Not a lot of people know that SUSE components are supporting private 5G deployments globally. So what is the vision and what's the interest with SUSE for the private 5G use case?
Excellent case. What TCS is doing is helping our partners in any vertical gain access to private 5G. Basically, it's connected anywhere. So we've gone from customers needing to be landline connected, having core speeds, into a world where we need ubiquitous connectivity. So here we're driving 5G connectivity, both partnering with our carrier partners, Verizon as an example, where we use their private spectrum in order to create 5G networks for various customers out in the space that I can't really talk about publicly, but we're also working with other customers to use the CBRS spectrum in order to enable those.
Correct.
In those deployments, in order to get those, CBRS being an interesting use case, because we have to manage the bandwidth in certain areas. If we step on spectrum, the government needs to come in and shut that down. We need monitoring capabilities tools. That's where we look to SUSE and their great infrastructure capabilities to be able to actively control the networks and be able to stay in compliance with the systems in real time.
This is a really good example. So I gave the the list of fundamentals. So we're upstream in the Silva community, listening to the telco providers, getting the specification right, baking those into our product, and now here we are downstream, so to speak, working on solutions that we're going to jointly deploy in the field. It's a beautiful story. Robert, I want to thank you for coming out. This has been great.